The idea that some lives matter less is the root of all that is wrong with the world. If I am hungry, that is a material problem. If someone else is hungry, that is a spiritual problem. God gives us humans everything we need to flourish, but He's not the one who's supposed to divvy up the loot. You want to see where Christ crucified abides today? Go to where the poor are suffering and fighting back, and that's where He is. The essence of global health equity is the idea that something so precious as health might be viewed as a right. With rare exceptions, all of your most important achievements on this planet will come from working with others or, in a word, partnership. I can't sleep. There's always somebody not getting treatment. I can't stand that. If access to healthcare is considered a human right, who is considered human enough to have that right? There is nothing wrong with underlining personal agency, but there is something unfair about using personal responsibility as a basis for assigning blame while simultaneously denying those who are being blamed the opportunity to exert agency in their lives. What I can argue is that no one should have to die of a disease that is treatable. I'm one of 6 kids, and the 8 of us lived for over a decade in either a bus or a boat. The idea that because you're born in Haiti, you could die having a child. The idea that because you're born in Malawi, your children may go to bed hungry. We want to take some of the chance out of that. It is very expensive to give bad medical care to poor people in a rich country. In fact, it seems to me that making strategic alliances across national borders in order to treat HIV among the world's poor is one of the last great hopes of solidarity across a widening divide. That's when I feel most alive, when I'm helping people. For me, an area of moral clarity is, you're in front of someone who's suffering and you have the tools at your disposal to alleviate that suffering or even eradicate it, and you act. Civil and political rights are critical, but not often the real problem for the destitute sick. My patients in Haiti can now vote, but they can't get medical care or clean water. Clean water, and healthcare, and school, and food, and tin roofs and cement floor, all of these things should constitute a set of basics that people must have as birthrights. People call me a saint and I think I have to work harder. Because a saint would be a great thing to be. The biggest public health challenge is rebuilding health systems. In other words, if you look at cholera or maternal mortality or tuberculosis in Haiti, they're major problems in Haiti, but the biggest problem is rebuilding systems. Anywhere you have extreme poverty and no national health insurance, no promise of healthcare regardless of social standing, that's where you see the sharp limitations of market-based healthcare. In a world riven by inequity, medicine could be viewed as social justice work. I think, sometimes, that I'm going nuts, and that perhaps there is something good about blocking clean water for those who have none, making sure that illiterate children remain so, and preventing the resuscitation of the public health sector in the country most in need of it. Lunacy is what it is. The only way to do the human rights thing is to do the right thing medically. La Euro trademark S, white liberals think all the world the Euro trademark S problems can be fixed without any cost to themselves. We don't a Euro trademark T believe that. There a Euro trademark S a lot to be said for sacrifice, remorse, even pity. Eat a Euro trademark S, what separates us from roaches? We want to be on the winning team, but at the risk of turning our backs on the losers, no, it is not worth it. So we fight the long defeat. Since I do not believe that, there should be different recommendations for people living in the Bronx and people living in Manhattan, I am uncomfortable making different recommendations for my patients in Boston and in Haiti. The poorest parts of the world are by and large the places in which one can best view the worst of medicine, and not because doctors in these countries have different ideas about what constitutes modern medicine. It's the system and its limitations that are to blame. I think that, looking forward, it's easy to imagine more constructive help for Haiti. We've taken on the major health problems of the poorest: tuberculosis, maternal mortality, AIDS, malaria, in 4 countries. We've scored some victories in the sense that we've cured or treated thousands and changed the discourse about what is possible. It is clear that the pharmaceutical industry is not, by any stretch of the imagination, doing enough to ensure that the poor have access to adequate medical care.